So I saw The Life of Chuck a little bit early, thanks to Regal's mystery movie program. This is something that won the People's Choice Award at Toronto International Film Festival, and I predict it will be nominated for Best Picture at the next Oscars. I did not like this movie. That's a popular opinion. It's directed by Mike Flanagan. It's an adaptation of a Stephen King short story. Look, I thought this film was trying to be a lot smarter than it actually was. There's these faux intellectual monologues which discuss the meaning of life in sometimes an innocuous nature to make it seem more clever, but yeah, it all just fell flat for me, and it wasn't really saying anything I haven't seen explored much more interestingly in other films. It doesn't help that the film also insists its profoundness through a very heavy-handed score. Like, this is one of the most annoying scores to recent memory, where we have this somber piano score that comes off very repetitive, and it's spammed throughout the movie, even in scenes where it feels like it's directly clashing with the tone of what you're seeing on screen. There's also this narration, which has, once again, an innocuous nature to it, which goes into more of its implications of it being something super deep. But at the end of the day, it's just a useless narration. It's done by Nick Offerman, and it's something that was unintentionally funny for me because it reminded me of Bob Byington's movies, which are like shit posts. Because Nick Offerman has narrated some of Bob Byington's movies. So that didn't work for me. I also think the characters are very uninteresting. I mean, the two characters it chooses to focus on in the first act made the first act extremely boring. And while the titular Chuck character has some cool mystery to them, the end result of the mystery in its third act was also very dull. The third act and first act are dull in general. I think the second act is the only act that kind of worked for me at points. But once again, it devolves into that heavy-handed nature with the score and with the narration, which were not needed at all. I mean, the first act of the first part of the second act had such a good vibe to it. I was so sad to what it devolved into. The film also treats its viewers like idiots. Like, they have parts that are reincorporated with extremely obvious parallels, and then they feel the need to throw in a flashback just in case you can't catch that obvious parallel. And they would be like split-second flashbacks, but still. And with all these obvious parallels, it feels like the film just explores like five ideas and explores the ideas in essentially the same way over and over again. And I wish the film had a much more effective use of its runtime, because my god, its sub 2 hour runtime feels like 2 hours and 30 minutes, and not in a good way. I really wish this was tighter edited. The film itself, thankfully, is shot decently. Like, there are actually some nice exterior shots. I really like when they would shoot things outside at different times of the day in the film. But then there's also some painfully bad CG and sparse moments. It's not constant, but I'm like, really? Like, it just does not work. That wasn't a huge problem with the film, though, admittedly. I also think the film itself had some really bad jokes. Like, it tries some obvious humor attempts, and they fall flat. There's this joke about Pornhub. They repeat it, and it's like, that wasn't funny at all at the first time, and now, like, this is extremely unfunny. The performances are fine. There are some child performances that are kind of weaker, but there are actually some good child performances. The lead from Tom Hiddleston, and like Chiwetel Ejiofor, I probably butchered his name, and Matthew Lillard will pop up and stuff like that, and even Mark Hamill, and they all did like good jobs. It's just that their characters are very uninteresting. All right, to be fair, like Mark Hamill does a good job and has a pretty good character. The third act probably has like the best characters. The second act is the best one. Third and first act, again, are very boring. I don't know. I would give this film a 4 that's closer to a 3 than a 5. It did not work for me. And even though it provided a unique experience, it came off like Megalopolis in a lot of ways, where it feels like it's very detached in the human experience, despite having so much of an emphasis on the human experience and a lot of cheesiness to it in how it explores the human experience. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Am I being too hard on this film? Did you really enjoy this film? Do you agree that I'll probably be nominated for Best Picture? Subscribe here for more Lego. I thought this was my Lego channel. Sorry. Subscribe here for more honest movie reviews. I'll see you later. Peace out. Bye.